Alright guys, welcome back. So lately I've been doing a lot of 6.5 Creedmoor loading, just loading FMJs for the AR-10, but these are also not the cheap FMJs. These are not the Privy Partisan or PPU FMJs that are like 139 grains that have a ballistic coefficient of like 0.4 something or less, maybe 0.3 something. These are Lapua 144 grain FMJs. These are match grade target shooting full metal jackets bullets, and they have a G1 ballistic coefficient of 0.636. So they're pretty efficient bullets for target shooting, and they're not the most efficient for 6.6.5 millimeter or 264 caliber, but they're pretty good, especially for just an FMJ. And they're a little more expensive. They're a little on the higher end, but I've chose to use those for all of my 6.5 reloading purposes because they deliver good results for me as far as 6.5 Creedmoor goes. Now, I have not gotten to start loading them in the 6.5 PRC, which I want to talk a little bit about that tonight. Getting into 6.5 PRC, this time, because I've got such a really nice rifle, really well set up, custom built, I've decided to go ahead and up the quality of my die selection. So with the 6.5 Creedmoor, the dies that I'm using there are the Lee, the 4 die set, the ultimate reloading die set from Lee, and you can pick that die set up for around $75, sometimes a little cheaper. I think I even got mine I got mine around $60 for that set, and it's worked great for me. It's not a bushing die set, it's just a regular reloading die set, but I've not had any issues with it, and it just works. And all of my other Lee dies for mostly handgun cartridges, that's what I use, and they all just work really well, and I really like the Lee dies. I'd have no complaints out of them, and even with the 6.5, they produce great ammunition. But going into 6.5 PRC, because now I'm finally actually using a custom built rifle with a custom barrel and action and everything, I decided to step up the die game a little bit, and I ordered a set of Redding Master Hunter dies. Now, the reason why I did the Master Hunter dies and not the S-type dies or the Premier grade or whatever premium grade dies that they sell is because both the S-type and the premium grade, there were a lot of complaints with the 6.5 PRC dies in particular in those two different die sets. But if you go to the Master Hunter series dies from Redding and you look at the 6.5 PRC dies, there are virtually no complaints. The only complaint that I found was that somebody received a die set that was damaged somehow in shipping or whatever. So as far as reloading goes, there's no complaints on it, and as far as what Redding says about the Master Hunter series is that they are based off their national match dies that I've never seen for sale. Of course, I don't know much about Redding dies. So, anyways, I bought a set of the 2 die set from Redding, a full length sizer, and my Cromer bullet seating die for the Master Hunter 6.5 PRC die set. And still waiting on them. They haven't showed up yet, but they run like $280, and I got them for $200, so they were on sale a little bit. So I'm pretty excited about that when they get here, and want to check them out. I'm going to do a comparison review on retting dies versus Lee dies. What you're gonna get, going from like a sub hundred, under $100 to over $200. The difference there. Now I have some Hornady custom grade dies, and I used Hornady custom grade dies for the 338 Lapua, and that die set I didn't buy them, they came with the rifle, but when I've looked them up, they run around $100, give or take. So it'll be interesting to see what this uh, Redding Master Hunter die set looks like, and the quality of it. So besides that, I'm still working on some 6.5 Creedmoor, and right now I'm making sure that all of the primers are seated perfectly good. And by that I mean just below the surface of the rim on the base. That one's about touching, or about matched. So I'm going to go ahead and just tighten it up a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing this is because some of these I primed them with my big hand press, or my big single stage press that's mounted on my bench here. And the problem with priming them with it is it actually doesn't prime very well. It really does not prime consistently, and most of the time it doesn't seat the primers all the way. So that's the reason why I'm using the Lee hand press, and it seats primers very well, very consistent, and you can control it and feel it, and it's really good at that. So I'm just going to go through these 50 here, but I know I've talked a little bit about the things going into the new year. We'll say an update on going into the new year credit card debt free. I almost made it. I'm not quite going to make it. I'm still going to carry about $800 or $900 of credit card debt into the new year. But coming down from about 15,000 at the beginning of 2022, I think I've done a pretty good job of getting rid of some credit card debt. Of course, I've had to sell a few things that I didn't want to sell, and that sort of thing, but being out of credit card debt, to me, I realized, finally come to the realization that is going to mean a lot more than having, some stock that's losing money, to be honest, here and there, or having a fast car, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I got rid of a few things, and, so I'm starting over, trying to get out of debt as soon as possible, especially in the economy we're in, because, our dollar, let's just face it, it's getting devalued more and more every day. And, the debt is piling up more and more every day. Now, interest rates, inflation, all that. Going forward, not having debt is going to be money. That's going to be currency. Being out of debt is going to be currency, I think, going forward. So my goal is to get out of debt totally. Of course, there is some necessary debt you gotta have, like, gotta have a car to go to work. Sure, I don't have to have a car that I had to borrow money on. I could have, bought a $2,000 car or something, paid cash for, and it would have been fine. It would have got me down the road. But eventually it's going to need parts. Things are going to be breaking on it all the time. So, I do have a car payment, but it's pretty low. I didn't buy a brand new car. My car payment's like $320 a month or something. So, I know a lot of people out there are paying $600, $700, maybe even $800 a month on a car payment. And I'm going, that's more than my house payment. So, and that sort of thing too is we had to have a new house. So, we have a house payment But that's one of those what I would consider that's a necessary debt. You got to do what you got to do for your family, and you got to have a roof over your head. And before we had this house, the roof we had over our heads was not very good. But with that being said, we are in a pretty good position going forward. It's just taken a couple years of work, and we've had to take on some debts here and there, and luckily now we're finally in a position where we're starting to get that under control going forward into 2023, and that's what I'm hoping. The end of 2023, probably won't be able to have a car paid off. I do have a personal loan that I'm paying on, and I'm going to have that paid off this year. So no credit card debt, no personal loan. That's my goal for 2023. I almost made the no credit card debt out of 2022. So, but anyways, going into this, here's all of our loaded 6.5 so far. I think it's around 136 rounds or so, 136 rounds of that. And, I started on this like weeks ago, and I just kind of got, we all went through like the flu, and then the weather changing and all this stuff, and we really just kind of got to a point where my whole family, me, my wife, we're just all like unmotivated to do anything, and I haven't been motivated to load any ammunition really, just occasionally. So I'm going to try to finish this. My goal is to finish this bag of brass by January 1st, and if I do 50 rounds a day, hopefully I'll get there in hopefully enough time. I've still got a bunch of brass. I don't know how much exactly, but about 300 pieces, so 6-7 days worth of brass. But chances are I'm not going to work on it every day. And when I do work on it, I'm only doing 50 rounds at a time. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Can't wait for the 6.5 PRC dies to get here. Can't wait to start loading for that. I've got to buy a new burner head for my melting pot so that I can actually get back into bullet casting, and I've been wanting to do that. I've got a lot of 454 Casull that I want to load up, and I don't have any bullets cast for it right now, so got to get back into that. I do have about 40 pounds of wheel weights from the dealership that I need to melt down and cast, and we're going to get into more detail on that about blending alloys and whatnot. But for now, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. I'm gonna get set up here and get my scale set up and start pouring some powder, and probably watch a little YouTube. Speaking of lately, it's not really a channel that you just have to watch, but it's more like a podcast type thing. You guys, if you haven't checked it out, you guys need to check out S2 Underground. I'm not affiliated with these guys in any way whatsoever, but man, their channel has really hooked me just like watching it, and they have so much information. It's incredible. You guys need to check out S2 Underground on YouTube. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.